Hi. Purchasing a piece of land in Jamaica can be one of the most exciting things you do. It generally comes with the possibility of a lot of appreciation on the value of the land. So the prospects for being profitable is usually good. But I want to tell you a couple things that you should know when you're actually purchasing land in Jamaica. Welcome to Wake Up and Live with Bob. And if you haven't yet done so, please like, share, subscribe, and tell someone about my channel. Right? So today I want to talk to you about, things you should know when you're purchasing a piece of land in Jamaica. All right, so let's start about let's start with knowing the long-term tone planning of the area that you're purchasing the land. The one of the worst things you can ever happen to you is to purchase a piece of property and to learn that the government was planning on extending the airport in that direction, but you did not know, or there is a government building that needs to be expanded around the area, and it may come over into your property or even consume your property. They may have to file eminent domain to take your property from you, or that you're in a position where the road expansion may very well come over and take your property. All right, so that's one of the things you kind of want to be aware of. Another thing you want to know is when you're purchasing land, you want to know where certain geographical features that may affect your property, such as water channels. Was there ever a time when water would run through this particular section of the land? You can see certain traces like gullies or ravines. I hope this bird above my head is not annoying you. I like to do my videos outdoor, but these birds, I feed them, and he's trying to tell me that it's time to um to feed it. It's a blue jay. So you want to make sure you look for things like gullies or ravines where water traditionally would run, or a dried up riverbed. You want to make sure that those things are actually you know actually established before you purchase that property. Or if the area is kind of a lowland in a sink, might have been a dried out pond or a dried out lake or in a flood zone, you want to make sure you've established those things, because those things can be very, very regrettable if you actually purchase the property with those. Another thing I want to tell you, Jamaica is a historical island. So you have to remember that a lot of places were actually former graveyards. You don't ask around before if were there any graveyards in these areas. You could very well be, you don't want to be building on a graveyard plot of land. I'm telling you, once those bulldozer men start digging up and they see bones start coming up or stuff, they're gone. They're not. They're spooked by that. They don't want to deal with that ever again. So you want to make sure, you could incur big losses if you're not aware of that sort of thing. There's also certain features because of our rock formation. Limestone rocks, sedimentary rocks, different type of things. We have features in our landmass, like what we call Sable Holes. I don't know what the proper geological name for that is, but I know Sable Holes, or what we call holes with no bottom. They're just porous and they go all the way down. Who knows how far down they go? Or sinkholes. How about sinkholes? You want to make sure those things are not existing on your property, or if they're on your property, they are actually features that you want. If you're by the seaside, you can have blowholes that could during the December months or the winter months could be when the sea gets a little rough. Um, it could be blowing water all over your property and onto your house, rusting your house, stuff like that. You want to make sure those features are already established. Flat rock, you want to check to see if there's a flat rock on your property, because if you don't want that, flat rock is going to require a lot of digging, a lot of compressor hours. You're going to require bulldozer with hammers to smash the rock and dig up the rock, and it could take a lot of time to actually do that, a lot of time and money. Yes, you could recover marl from that flat rock, if it's such a rock, but it could be that you're hitting solid bedrock, and it end up costing a lot of money to build anything on the property. So you want to make sure that those things are not existing if you don't want them. Caves, a lot of caves. Jamaica is known for caves. You may very well not want caves on your property. Maybe you want caves on the property, but whatever it is, you should actually know beforehand. Toxic land. You want to make sure that you're not purchasing a land with that once was a gas station, for example. There may be underground tanks with residue of oil and gas in there that you didn't know or wouldn't know until you actually start building. You hit a tank, and boom, you could have an explosion, or you could have situations where you further pollute the land. Now, those things are not very frequent, but they do happen, and they can get lost in record keeping and stuff like that. So you do want to make sure, if you're buying in urban areas or so, you want to make sure that those things aren't really there. I have one friend who bought a piece of land in in Kingston, and he actually once he started excavating the land for getting ready to build, he realized the land was a factory, a car battery factory land. And what he ended up seeing on it was, tons of lead, bits of metal, scrap metal, lead that was in the land. He had to dig off 6 inches of land and replace that 6 inches of soil to actually alleviate the problem of the lead. So those things are kind of important that you do understand. Lastly, but not the least, I want to warn you about building or buying land that is in either family or community disputes. All right. Listen, that could be your worst nightmare, to buy a land that is in family disputes or in community disputes. Now, when I say family disputes, I'm sure you know, brothers, sisters, not in agreement with selling land and blah, 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 and so forth. You don't want to be in that. That could be a big headache. Or community disputes, where you might buy a land that is close by the sea, and the land has cut off the beach, and people were expressing hostility, and the owner is now selling, or stuff like that, or just little things that is encroaching on public space, or there can be a lot of different scenarios that we can't really think of right now. So make sure when you're purchasing land, it's a wonderful thing to purchase land in Jamaica, because you have something that has a future. Either whether it's for appreciating in price, or for building your mainstay, on the island. But just make sure you are aware of different type of encumbrances that may occur, and some of these are what I just discussed before. They're not limited to those encumbrances, but those can be somewhat of a nightmare for you if you don't know these things. All right. So again, I want to thank you for watching Wake Up and Live with Bob. And if you haven't yet done so, I just want to remind you to please subscribe, like, and share my videos, and tell someone about my videos. Share my videos with other people, and tell someone about it. All right. Thanks again for watching.